Hey everyone, Techo G here, representing those who are 50 and up who love their tech. Smartphones have come a long way since the introduction of the smartphone that started the craze, the original iPhone. Since the creation of the iPhone, many other tech companies have made their own version of smartphones to get consumer cash. To attract the person who's looking to purchase a phone, companies add features that other phones don't have, such as folding mechanisms, camera bumps that house high megapixel camera lenses, fast processors, giant screens, a stylus, a cooling fan. You get the gist. However, just like how someone purchases a game system or picks a streaming service, it's all about the content and software a company provides that will help sell the hardware. Samsung has DeX, and some phones have a stylus. Apple has Fort Knox-like security and ease of use. Oppo, OnePlus has decent cameras. Android phones use the Google ecosystem, etc., etc. At the end of the day, despite the different features phones may have to differentiate from the competition, all phones provide the same main functions: answer phone calls, display media, play music, use as a flashlight, touchscreen capability, play games. It truly doesn't matter what type of phone you get, as long as you're happy with how it functions during your day-to-day. Which brings me to this preview of the LockMat Aplip 5 Max, which is a Chinese smartwatch phone. I've always been a fan of Chinese smartwatch phones for a long time. I find it very interesting to wear a smartphone on your wrist, one less thing to carry in my pocket. Which brings me to this preview, the LockMat Aplip 5 Max, which is a Chinese smartwatch phone. I've always been a fan of Chinese smartwatch phones for a long time. I find it very interesting to wear a smartwatch on your wrist, which is for me one less thing to carry in my pocket. A device as small as a Chinese smartwatch phone brings to question, can it be used as a daily driver? I ended up purchasing a LockMat Aplip 5 Max on Amazon, and here are the specs, which I'll flash on the screen, which truly doesn't matter because it's totally underpowered compared to regular smartphones, so I won't be inclined to talk too much in detail about the specs. I will briefly review the specs and talk about the specs in a review video of the smartwatch phone once I receive it. I'll be using this website Geekbuying, which sells a lot of items and products from China to display the Aplip 5 Max and to show you some of the capabilities and features of this Chinese smartwatch phone. Now, the first thing that may come to your head, for something this small, why does it cost so much? Well, it's kind of like the Samsung Fold series phones. You're paying for how it looks, how it functions, because this is a small product that has the capabilities of a smartphone that you can wear on your wrist. You're basically paying for that novelty. Now, there are two variants of this smartwatch phone. They have a 4 gigabyte, 64 gigabyte of space type, and that one sells for $165.99. And they have a 6 gigabyte of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage version that sells for $207.99. Now, the price may vary if you search on the internet and go to different websites. You might find it higher or lower, and that all depends on shipping and things like that. For example, the one that I got on Amazon, I got the 6 gigabyte RAM version. I'm paying $260 for it, but I'm getting it in 2 days. Because usually if you order something from China, it may take 3 weeks, 4 weeks, who knows how long. But since I'm getting it from Amazon and it's already in stock on Amazon, I'm receiving mine in 2 days. So I don't mind paying the upcharge. Again, I'm not going to talk too much about the specs because Like I said, comparing the smartwatch phone to a regular phone, it's completely underpowered. Again, you're getting it for the size, you're getting it for how cool it looks, for, like I said, having one less thing to carry in your pocket. Again, since I'm not going to talk too much about the specs, I'm just going to read the information from the website about this particular smartwatch phone. So it is going to be 4G, it's not going to be 5G. Too small to probably house a lot of the components to put 5G in that particular unit. But 4G is still good enough. Like I said, it looks like a watch, but it's actually a smartphone. Or shaped like a watch. It has a 2.4-inch screen. It's supposed to be high definition. We'll see how that is when I actually get it. It has a dual system octa-core processor, which I'm really interested in because usually for devices as small, it'll be like a 4-core, maybe a 6-core. But for this to have an 8-core, I'm definitely interested in seeing how it functions. So even though it says a high HD resolution, look at the numbers of the resolution. 640 by 480. That's not going to be super clear, but it'll be clear enough for this device. It's going to have face recognition screenshot. I guess you can use a button to take a screenshot, and it has screen recording. I guess this button right here that has red on it. Maybe if you press it, not sure yet until I test it. You can record the screen. Who knows? It has a 15 milliamp watt battery, and for a device that's small, that should make it last throughout the entire day. Correction. Now that I'm reading this may support 5G. Now I really can't wait to see that. I've never seen a smartwatch phone from China support 5G, especially from the 5G of the US. That's going to be very interesting. I can't wait to see if this actually works. Now, for the most part, if you do get a Chinese smartwatch phone, you can only use GSM networks. So that's T-Mobile and AT&T. There's only a very few that can use Verizon, and there's not a list of Chinese smartwatch phones that you can find on the internet that will tell you which ones uses Verizon. So your luck may vary. Now here's what's also cool about this smartwatch phone. It has a dual camera system. One on the front so that you can make it on FaceTime calls, and one at the very top where when you're holding it like this, you can record by holding your wrist like this and record this way. So the camera will be right here, as you can see in the picture right there. I think that's quite interesting. Like I said, it says that it has a large memory. You can't put a whole lot of apps on here, not big apps, not a lot of games. So your smaller apps, yeah, you can probably put a good amount on there. And that's the reason why I got the 6 gigabyte of RAM and 28 gigabytes of storage version, so that I can put as many apps on the smartwatch phone that I can. This advertisement is funny. It says it's both a watch and a mobile phone. Well, technically it's just a phone, but you can wear it on your wrist and make it look like a watch. So it's not really a watch, because if that's the case, your phone can be a watch because it shows the time. But again, it's a mini smartphone that you can wear on your wrist. And like I said, when I get it, I'll be going more into detail about it. So I'm really interested in getting this particular smartwatch phone because of the particular features that I've mentioned already that you don't find in a lot of these Chinese smartwatch phones, and for the fact that I can wear this on my wrist. So I'm really interested in seeing if I can use this as my daily driver. Now, for the most part, just thinking out loud, I'm pretty sure that I can use this no problem, as opposed to using a full slab or folding phone. Now, no, the screen is not as big as your regular phone, but it's going to have, again, the features of a phone that you can use, and you can still view your digital and media content on the screen because the screen is 2.4 inches. I mean, it's not going to be as viewable as, I would say, enjoyable as a larger screen phone. but it's still going to fit its purpose and do its purpose, even though it's a small smartwatch phone. Now, I've already went to YouTube to see if I can find some review videos, but there are none right now. They just have previews and showing how some of the functionality works on the device. But as far as a full review, there's none out there. So when I get the particular product, I will do a full review and let you know my intake of how it works for me during my day-to-day, because I am going to use it, like I said, as my daily driver. My SIM card is going to be in there, so I will be making my phone calls, sending texts, watching videos, looking at content on YouTube, doing my reading of news, things like that. So I'll be using, like I said, as my daily driver, and I'll let you know exactly how I feel about this particular device. And hopefully, if you're interested in it, you'll get it yourself. And that's pretty much the end of the video. But before I end it, I gotta show you this short. This is really interesting to use this phone, and that's how big the screen is going to be compared to your human hands. But again, it's a regular smartwatch phone that has the same functions as any Android phone, and you can use pretty much any app on here. And in this video is showing that you can use emulators on it, and that's what's really cool, because again, you can put it on your wrist and figure out how to use a controller with it, and boom, you can play games on it. For this small device, for a device this small, I think that's really, really cool for a device that you can wear on your wrist. And it's running pretty smooth. So this is the PSP emulator called PPSSPP. And for it to be running as smooth as it's running in this video, that is quite interesting. I can't wait to show you when I get it myself. So stay tuned for that review video when I release it. So if you enjoyed this video, definitely leave that thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Tell your friends about my channel, and I hope to see you in my next video.